Welcome to creative writing class. Everybody take your seats at $500 credit hour. These 10-minute classes, you got to get as much as you can out of them as fast as you possibly can. As you can see, the classroom looks a little different today. We are having class under the ocean. Since we are under the ocean and you see all these rocks and things and treasure chests, people can't live under the ocean, so we are going to embrace SpongeBob. Cody, you are now SpongeBob. Yeah, you did that good. You, sir, are Mr. Squidward. Can you imitate him?
No.
No. Patrick. Everybody loves Patrick. And, of course, we can't leave out Mr. Krabs. Here's the scenario. Mr. Krabs has hired SpongeBob to write a short story for his annual Krabby Patty parade. Okay? SpongeBob has writer's block. Sometimes writer's block is almost as if something is weighing on your head to keep things from flowing. So underneath a few of these rocks are hot geysers that ideas are going to flow out of. And there's a surprise to tell you when you find the geyser. So that's the scenario. We've got to help SpongeBob write his story. Now, Mr. Krabs doesn't want to pay anybody, so if SpongeBob doesn't meet his deadline, he doesn't have to pay. So Mr. Krabs is picking up rocks so Cody doesn't get ideas from those rocks. Patrick is helping his buddy SpongeBob, and Squidward's just jealous because Mr. Krabs didn't ask him to play his piccolo at the parade. So he's hoping to mess SpongeBob up so that he's the last-minute replacement. Everybody got it? All right. I've got a number behind my back. Everybody pick one number between 1 and 5.
2.
3.
1.
Oh! You, Mr. Squidward, get to turn over the first stone to see if there's a geyser underneath. Now, if Squidward or Mr. Krabs turns one over, Cody cannot use that idea for overcoming his writer's block. And if you would, read out loud what the writer's block idea is.
Write a letter to your reader.
Basically, if you get stumped, just simply address a letter to your audience that you're reading to and tell them what you're getting ready to tell them. Okay? Sometimes that can help you get unstuck. Now, I think we had Patrick was one of the next closest. Patrick, go pick a rock. Ooh, goodies. Everybody make a geyser sound. That's an idea SpongeBob's going to use today.
Mapping.
Mapping. Mapping is where you take one word and on a large board, you take that one word and jot down other words that come to mind, and then you tie them all together. Okay? I think our next contestant would be Mr. Krabs. What did you pick that SpongeBob cannot use now?
Get on Pinterest.
Here's a great thing. If a picture's worth 1,000 words and you're stuck on a topic, whether it be a desert or whether it be a hero or a heroine, if you get on Pinterest and start typing in what you're stuck on, those pictures will give you creative ideas and descriptive ideas. So as you're looking at the pictures, just describe them. That might get you unstuck so you can go continue to write. But you got to watch. You can get stuck on Pinterest for hours and hours and hours. I confess, man stuff. All right? And SpongeBob, you get to pick something.
Yay.
Yay, SpongeBob!
Free writing or brainstorming.
Free writing or brainstorming. This is when you just write down any words that come to mind, and you just jot them all down. There's no right or wrong. You just write them all. And you just put them on a big piece of paper, and sometimes you come across words that'll help you get unstuck. Now, Mr. Squidward, do you pick another one for us real quickly? Doesn't matter which one, just one that hasn't been picked as of yet. I think there's one over there. And Mr. Krabs, you come on up, and I think there's one last one that might have a treasure there.
Read aloud.
Read aloud. Sometimes if you take your writing and you read it as if you were reading it to a classroom, hearing your own writing out loud will help you get unstuck. Or you could read it to someone else and read them your story up to the point you got stuck and then say, where should this story go? So get a friend, read to them out loud, and get their ideas on what should come next. They might help you get unstuck. Mr. Krabs?
Identify what your subject wants.
Identify what your subject wants. As you're writing, put yourself in the mind of the subject and ask yourself, what do I, as the character, or as the topic, want to happen to me next? Or what scenario do I want to see next? Or what do I want to avoid next? And that often can help you get unstuck. I have created a list for you guys to take home that has a ton of ideas. You can get plenty of ideas for getting off. Getting unstuck is what I'm trying to say. My film man, how much time I got left? I got 4 minutes. Perfect. Now, unfortunately, the Grumpy Gusses and cheap guys didn't get any prizes, did they? Well, guess what? Patrick, what do you think about that? Is that sad?
Yeah.
That is sad. I think I'm going to let Mr. Krabs pick something from this first treasure chest. And Mr. Krabs, if you would just tell me what the word you chose is. If you could read it.
Woodpecker.
A woodpecker. Okay, Squidward. Oh, Mr. Krabs. By the way, I'm not as cheap as you. You don't have to pay me for this. This is your treat. Squidward, come on up. And if you would, pick one out of this treasure chest.
Yours?
Coach, you're interrupting my class.
Sorry.
Beach.
Beach. Beach. And now, SpongeBob, since you are the hero, pay attention, SpongeBob. Focus, son. The ADD is getting on my nerves. Get up here and pick something out of the last treasure chest. Thank you. Dancing. Now that sounds fun. Now, let's help SpongeBob get unstuck. So what we're going to start with is brainstorming. What comes to mind when you think of woodpecker?
Dancing woodpecker on a beach.
Thank you, SpongeBob, for stealing the assignment. What, just woodpecker by itself, what comes, a bird? What else? Wood.
Trees.
Trees. Anything else?
Worms.
Worms.
Color red.
Oh, red.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. What else?
Feathers.
Feathers. All right, we'll stop there. Now, what comes to mind when we think of the beach?
Sand.
Sand. Oh, it's hot at the beach.
Water.
Water. Anything else?
Waves.
Squidward, I think I know what you're thinking.
ABC.
Shame on you. What did you say, SpongeBob?
Crashing waves.
Crashing waves. And dancing. What comes to mind when we say dancing?
Disco.
Disco!
Hip hop.
Hip hop.
Sweat.
Okay. That is brainstorming. If we think of mapping, we take this word bird. What comes to mind when we say bird?
Nest.
Nest. What comes to mind when we say feathers?
Pillow.
Pillow. What comes to mind when we say dancing? Or when we say crashing waves?
Loud.
Fish.
Loud. So you're getting descriptive words as well as words that we chose at random. So here's your assignment. For class tomorrow, I want you to write a short story for SpongeBob. here's the requirements, is use those three main words. Woodpecker, beach, dancing. From any of the brainstorming that we did and the mind mapping, you can use those as well. There's one other thing that you have to add to the story, and that's Krabby Patties. Because didn't you hire SpongeBob to write a story about Krabby Patties
I
for the
did.
parade?
Yes.
So, that's the class. Thank you so much for attending. Leave your $500 for this 10-minute credit hour at the table, and I will spend it accordingly. Thank you.